Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the one and only up 2-0 in this best of 5 series. Playing as Poseidon. His name, you know him as Kvoth. Okay, all right. Well, that was terrible. I don't know what I was trying to do. His opponent today in the red color playing as Odin. His name is Matreiuss. Matreiuss does whatever a Matreiuss does. Yes. Wonderful. Game number 3. And Matreiuss now gets a little bit of revenge. So the way this tournament is structured is that matchups, and we've said this already, I'll say it a couple of times, but matchups are +1, -1, or 0. There's no +2 matchups, there's no +3 matchups, so there's no crazy imbalanced matchups. Now, someone might be out there and start saying, but Boit, Poseidon versus Odin is unwinnable for Poseidon. You don't know what you're talking about. Poseidon I've seen beating Odin several times, and several other experts have said this matchup is winnable on certain maps and in certain situations. So Poseidon can win this matchup. It's tough though. Everyone agrees that Odin is the favored god, but it's not unwinnable here for Poseidon. You just have to play a really, really good, strong game. So we'll see if Kvoth is going to be ready with some sort of a strategy here to find the win, and we'll see what he's going to come up with. But it's going to be it will be a tough one, and that's kind of part of what this tournament is about. We want to see as many games as we can. So all right, relics on the map. We do have the Trojan Gate Hinge, plus 20% wall hit points, and we've also got the Envelope of Cistus. This one is reducing the armory cost of food, wood, and gold. So that's going to be a nice help there for whoever wants to pick it up. And let me just start by saying, Matreiuss, you don't put the market in the corner of the map, but here you are doing something that I absolutely love and adore. Not building an ox cart for your food because you can you can drag the aurochs in under your town center. Everyone, give him a round of applause. This is peak Age of Mythology. We have now entered a new era of efficiency. This should be standard for everyone. If you can drag your animals to an ox cart, you should. The only mistake here, which Matreiuss has made, is that he should have put these wood villagers onto this wood line with this ox cart, because that would have meant he doesn't need to build this ox cart. Because he could have been on this auroch sharing the wood line and sharing the auroch on that ox cart, right? So we take our applause back. I don't know if you could see that I wasn't actually clapping then. I'm taking it back. Temple up now for Matreiuss. He gets his ravens out. He's playing nice and defensive. He's got some back hunt over here. Water buffalo. Just a little bit of hunt on this map. It's just a light sprinkling, a light spattering of hunt. A decent start here for both players. Will most likely come in. Kvoth also playing very safe with that temple placement there, as he's off in the corner here eating these water buffalo. It looks like he's kind of leaving his water buffalo and his aurochs alive in his main base here. So we'll see how things go. Freya on the way now for Matreiuss, as well as Kvoth, most likely going to be going through Hermes here. And he's got a lot of villagers queued up. Wants to advance a little bit later here. This is something I wanted to investigate a little bit. I'll talk a little bit about it because there's not much going on. There's been a recent trend in Age of Mythology to advance as fast as you possibly can to start harassing your opponent as soon as you possibly can. What if you just don't? What if you do a later advance time? You get more resources, right? You get more resources for advancing later. And so long as you don't get hit by anything, you're fine. So idea being, put walls up. Spend those resources, extra resources you're going to be getting from advancing faster on walls. And just advance later. It slows your opponent's early attack down so they don't get the damage anyways. Yes, you lose out on a little bit of that extra resources that you would have had, but then you got your base is nice and safe. Why is this not standard? Something tells me that Age of Mythology players haven't really thought for a day in their life about what could be the possibilities. There is a relic of it. Boots kick everything, plus 10% extra move speed there for the heroes. A very, very good relic. As the villagers of Kvoth moving in, going to be eating the water buffalo over here as well. And what is the plan here for Matreiuss. One longhouse, two longhouses up. And we see just a handful of Ulfsark coming out here. Well, Matreiuss might go mass Ulfsark at this point. He might. But I think more often than not, it's just a handful of Ulfsarks just to get some chaos out on the map. Oh, we see a fast second town center immediately spotted here for Matreiuss. This is not what Kvoth wanted in at all here. Can he get that villager away? I don't think he will. That Valkyrie is going to be sniping a villager, whether Kvoth likes it or not. Unless he can get a quick wall up or something, he's going to attempt to block. He cannot block there. Unlucky, but the Hippolyta is now in, and that will be a dead Valkyrie. But as I always say, if you go for a fast second town center against Norse as Greek, you are putting the game into the Norse player's hands. The Norse player gets all of the initiative and gets to decide what they want to do for the rest of the game. But nonetheless, Kvoth does get the town center up, or basically gets the town center up. Ulfsark's searching around, looking for something to kill. Whether there's going to be anything to kill with those remains to be seen. There is a forest fire that Kvoth is going to have to be a little bit careful about. As the Theseus here getting caught out of position here. Matreiuss, he can very, very simply catch that one off guard, but it looks like he's going elsewhere. As the villagers over here at Military Academy coming up for Kvoth as well. I like that idea, Military Academy. He sees the Ulfsark. Better not go for Hippocon. Much better idea. But Military Academy up means hoplites should be able to defend these Ulfsarks. We do see the Herser picking up that relic and retreating away. And we'll see how things are going to go. Town center now going to be coming up here for Matreiuss, nice and fast, so it all starts to make sense. Ulfsark will most likely turn back or really go for a raid. I mean, I'll probably send about 4 of those back home to jump onto the town center to get that up relatively quickly if I was going to raid. All of them, probably not that necessary. What Matreiuss can also do here, be very sneaky, is he can send that free Pegasus in that he's got from the relic, tank the town center, and hit this wood line really, really easily. As villagers starting to pop out and the villagers pulling off of the wood line straight into the tower. No real problems where that's concerned. Villagers pulling off of this Auroch here. No problems there either. And the Centaur heroes back to defend here for Kvoth. Matreiuss has to pull away. All good. All safe and sound. As the Herser now moving across the map, going to be getting themselves the town center up. And Matreiuss is falling a little bit behind on the villager count, but in all honesty, it really doesn't matter. All the economic advantage is with Norse in this matchup. The villager gather rate of the Greek villagers just cannot compete against the Odin hunt boosted gather rate plus the dwarf boosted gold gather rate. So long as the Norse player macros well, gets the right units out onto the right resources, he'll always be in front on the economy regardless of a little bit of a villager deficit. Plus also the villager deficit kind of looks bigger than it normally does. Dwarfs, they take 2 seconds longer than a gatherer and a villager to train. So if you've got something like 7, I think it's 7 dwarves, it's kind of equals 8 villagers. So technically he's actually only 5 villagers behind, not 6 villagers behind. Nonetheless, that is just some silly math for those of you who like playing math at home. I don't know. We'll see how the game goes along, but farms coming down now for Kvoth. He's not making the effort to grab this water buffalo or this giraffe here, but walls coming up here on this position might give Kvoth an opportunity to grab these water buffalo, meaning he doesn't need to put all the farms down, but plow coming in nonetheless. And I imagine here that Matreiuss is probably going to be able to hit heroic age off of these water buffalo, off of the berries in the main base, off of the villagers on these herdables. Another question that players that are kind of new to the game might be asking is why do we often see the goats get gathered before the berries? As we do see a little bit of a forest fire coming through here. Villagers retreating away. Do manage to get into the town center. no big problems here for Matreiuss. But Matreiuss, for Kvoth, but Kvoth does get a nice defense here, getting some good return fire, gets the militia out, and in classic Poseidon fashion, forgets to move those militia. I do believe you can actually, I could be wrong about this, so maybe go into the editor and check it out, but I think that Poseidon can right-click his storehouses and create a gather point that moves the militia away from the storehouse immediately. Now, I could be wrong about that. You definitely check that. That could be a total lie. Anyways, why do the gatherers go onto herdables first? Answer is husbandry gives the 20% extra gather rate onto the herdables, which means you're gathering a significant amount faster than the berry bushes. And while you get less, maybe overall food, getting more food earlier is just most of the time better. Now, there are going to be opportunities or situations where it's better to do the other way, but but in this game, it's not the case. As Kvoth retreating back, he is getting under a lot of pressure here from Matreiuss. Matreiuss trying to force some sort of a ceasefire here. He's trying to, but Kvoth staying cool under the pressure. Still trying to pump out some units. He's got a little bit of resources banked up here. Spending his resources nice and efficiently here in this game. Stables coming out, doing some nice things. Farms coming up all over the place there as well. As the Kvoth army pulling back here. And Kvoth, he needs to be more careful with this. He should know that he's behind on production. He should just know that he's behind just because of the way the game works. He doesn't need to push out of his base. He sees the army of his opponent here, but he's still considering to take these fights. We'll see if he can make them work. Ulfsark's getting onto the back here. Kvoth can dive in behind this wall and keep his units safe. He is trying to get those units that are getting targeted down there, but he gets path blocked from getting through that wall there nicely. Well played by Matreiuss there, as Kvoth is in a very, very difficult position right now. He's trying to take this fight. He's doing a good job of it. It's still decently close in terms of population here, but Matreiuss has to retreat. Kvoth still needs to play a little bit more safe. He's got a nice gold mine over here, nice towns and walls on this to get that gold mine. He doesn't need to grab this forward gold mine here that he's trying to with that storehouse, because he can just come up here with his nice safe gold mine there. Obviously, Matreiuss can spot that at any point and go and raid it, but with some walls there, he should be fine. As Matreiuss here, just about to finish up with his water buffalo, and look at that. He, like I said, he's going to hit heroic age before needing to farm, whereas Kvoth has already farmed, so he's going to be stuck in this classical age for quite some time. But I mean, Matreiuss still has to make it work. He still has to find the advantages here in this matchup to get the win. As the wall's coming up over here, we do see the army swinging around for Kvoth. He's still not at full population just yet. Lots of wood in the bank, but he needs that to be pumping those farms out as his villages are now finished up here. He can spam those up pretty quickly. With medium raiders, medium infantry, Matreiuss is just in such a good position to take this fight here. As he pushes forward here, the raiding cavalry are attempting to retreat away though for some reason. I'm not sure he needed to really do that. He could have taken that fight very easily though, maybe a little bit scared of those hoplites. But with a handful of throwing axemen, they would have dealt the damage there nicely. As the army pulls back. And we do see Matreiuss is sneaking through onto this position, hitting Kvoth's gold mine. But Kvoth smartly turns around with his villagers, just going to shank away. And the raiders do retreat back. Now, if Matreiuss can get himself a frost down onto this position, it will force a ceasefire. But, I mean, maybe that's what Matreiuss wants here. Matreiuss now onto the wood over here, onto the berries over here, lots onto gold. You can actually buy Mythic Age, which will be incredibly strong here as the villagers moving up to grab this town center. Kvoth is committed to staying in the classical age here, it seems. As the Hippocon trying to break through, we will be seeing Kvoth retreating back for the time being. But, I mean, look at the differential in population. Matreiuss's economy is just out of control here. Is there a market coming down anywhere? Farms starting to come down. Market on the front here for Matreiuss. Food, he only needs to buy 200 food worth of gold there, as now he's only just run out of everything here. He's also got some hippos at the top of the map if he wants to make his way up there. Same too for Kvoth over there. As Kvoth has also left these water buffalo, and Tyr is clicked up an incredibly fast mythic age here for Matreiuss after all is said and done. Hippocon going to get taken out. Again, a frost here into a Tyr. Going to idle 11 villages. Ceasefire would be used, no problems, but idle that many villages. Obviously, ceasefire. Kvoth is not going to use ceasefire here. Maybe Matreiuss doesn't want that to happen, but we'll see how things are going to go. As Matreiuss here does grab this top gold mine. Kvoth grabs this top gold mine, gets this gold mine here. The Raven spots it, but he's too late to the party. As a hill fort coming up, and now Matreiuss is going to be thinking he needs this town center up here. And what Kvoth might want to try is getting up to that position and stopping that. As the Raiders swinging around, looking at this gold mine. Nothing on there just yet. Not sure what he's going for, as the Thrown Axeman getting pushed back. And this is exactly the kind of misplay that Kvoth needs here to keep himself alive and in this game. Raiding Cavalry completely out of position. Thrown Axeman getting torn to pieces. Frost Giants here are getting some good value because there's only one hero in this fight, and it is a ranged hero. Frost Giants with 69%. Pierce armor is a really big help as the Raiders come through. Matreiuss dropping down to 108 population. Big blunder here for Matreiuss not having his raiding cavalry in that army until that hill fort was up. And now Matreiuss's Frost Giants getting taken down, but the Fimbulwinter is about to hit. And let's see, the question is, how much damage is this going to do? I got no words. I guess he's getting 0 damage with his Fimbulwinter. Kvoth with the nastiest ceasefire of 2024. My God. I don't know if this is even going to be enough, though. He stops the frost. He stops the Fimbulwinter. And he gets an extra 10 seconds of ceasefire. He's at full population. Matreiuss towns are only just coming up. He can take out the hill fort. Kvoth is an absolute madman, ladies and gentlemen. What an insane play. And we do see the raid coming into the top play over here. Villagers getting taken out. Villagers retreating back to the town center. Raiding cavalry getting taken out over here. Matreiuss pushing forward. We do see the hill fort coming in. Masons on the way here for Kvoth to try and hold on. Aphrodite coming through. There's still a long path ahead for Kvoth to make his way back into this game. But can he do it is the big question. If he can get Aphrodite and if he can hold this town center, he doesn't have access to fortified town centers till the heroic age. So all he can do to hold on to this town center is Masons. As we've got heavy raiders in. The Frost Giants do so much damage here. Repairing this one back up with Masons. Look at the town center is not going down here. Army gets over here. And now Matreiuss, he's still struggling to find his way here to actually solidify an advantage in this game. Hill fort up. Heroic age in for Kvoth, and we've got a game for you, ladies and gentlemen, here right now. We have a game for you, ladies and gentlemen. Hill fort is up, which means Ballista can come out, and this is where things get tough for Kvoth in this defensive Greek game plan. How does he deal with this hill fort? Ballista aren't going to come out just yet. Just going to be making those Huskar for the time being. Obviously, Kvoth getting himself to the Mythic Age. Earthquake onto his position is an answer as well. As the Toxotes pushing forward, throwing Axeman retreating into the hill fort here, popping out. We do see the raiding cavalry going to snipe down these units here as well. As the curse does get dropped down. A little bit of safety curse in a way because he wants to kill off the town center, not the town center, but the hill fort there as Atlanta comes out. She can take out a frost giant incredibly quickly. Raiding cavalry making their way down to this gold mine over here. Villagers can pull off this one. He's got this gold mine up here that he can grab. Town center going to get repaired all the way back up. A little bit of ghost buildings here for Kvoth to block this one in as that. Got to get that Nemean line over here to help out. Where is that one going? As the Nemean lion comes through, and he does start to get that damage done. Huskal going to be retreating away. Copper mail on the way now for Matreiuss. He's getting the market up in the top corner as Matreiuss is now, well, better prepare for the long game. As he had such a brutal timing there, but it doesn't do anything if you get the ceasefire off. I'm not exactly sure how it works because the ceasefire actually came in after the Fimbulwinter, but I think if you click it at exactly the same time, Fimbulwinter has a slight delay in the god power blocking. It's very, very slight. It's like a tenth of a second or something from... I don't actually know. As the Huskal pulling back. Raiding cavalry coming in onto this position. And it does... Kvoth is still struggling here. I think some Prodromus here would not go astray. Does he have resources? Feister's coming through. So Prodromus wouldn't go astray. Fortress up on this position to defend. Just look at the difference in economy. This is all just economy here from Matreiuss. Obviously, he has a little bit of score inflation from Fimbulwinter, but he doesn't even have himself shaft mine. Well, he doesn't have shaft mine, but he doesn't even have himself Winter Harvest, which is such a broken upgrade. But a dock coming through from Matreiuss. He wants an. This would be sneaky as all hell. A dock over here jumps in, can get in onto this position, can put a hill fort up over here or something and start ranging that town center or hitting that town center from behind. It'll be a great idea. Bronze weapons coming through from Matreiuss. Did Matreiuss actually end up getting that upgrade? He did. So Amplify Feist is plus... Oh no, it's Odin. So he's basically got Odin's bonus plus Thor's bonus, right? With everything being ridiculously cheap. Walls coming up here for Kvoth to just hold on. We do see the storehouse coming up here as well. Archery ranges, military academy coming down there as well. As the Ulfsark over here going to get cleaned up. But in classic Matreiuss fashion, he's always going to be looking for something to do here. Heavy infantry coming through for Kvoth. Champion infantry for Matreiuss. But the Plenty Vault is now down. More hill forts coming up though for Matreiuss. Plenty Vault in, which means Kvoth's economic disadvantage that he's been in gets flipped into not necessarily an advantage, but he gets back into the game with Forge of Olympus because that gives him a significant amount of resources free in the fact that he doesn't have to spend them to get those armory upgrades up. So it kind of balances out in that way as the Heliopolis starting to come out maybe a little bit early on that. Unlike against Atlantean or against Greek or against Egyptian, Heliopoli against Norse, they're not actually the best because you might think that throwing Axemen not that good, but they're still doing 7.65 damage a second compared to Toxotes doing 1 damage per second against the Heliopolis. It's a big difference. So this is probably a little bit of an overcommit from Kvoth. A little bit too many resources coming out of that one. The way to deal with these throwing Axemen is maybe making Hippocon or making Pacifist or Toxotes. Or even Myth units wouldn't go astray. He's got the Nemean Lions he can make as well. But still has to deal with those Frost Giants though. As we do see the heroes coming out for Kvoth, getting himself the Polyphemus, Theseus, Hippolyta there. And look at this side build coming through for Matreiuss. I love this. Way early, really good. I love to see some walls here as well. Wouldn't go astray. The more walls, the better from the north sides, especially defending your own trade route. Getting walls up over here, he's trying to get these up. I like this. This is exactly what he needs to do. There's a raiding cavalry coming in onto this position here to push off this gold mine. There's still plenty of gold mines for both players, though maybe Matreiuss is running out of gold because he just gets it so fast. Got this one up here to grab. He's finished up this one. How many did he have? 1, 2, 3... 1, 2, 3, and the home one, and maybe one down the bottom. Maybe not. I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4. There should be 4 gold mines at the top there. So he probably already exhausted one in this game, whereas Kvoth is just about to exhaust one. As the Kvoth Poseidon still holding on. Still holding on in this game, but Matreiuss is smart. He knows. Just get the towers set up. You've always got a chance here with Norse to win. You're always in front until you lose. Is the general way that Norse works. This coinage comes in. Champion Cavalry Bronze Mail also on the way here for Matreiuss, getting all of his upgrades in. Towers coming down as well for Matreiuss. What's the play in this corner as the villager gets cleaned up? A hill fort up. Watchtowers up here as well. Still no walls. Probably missing out on that. I'd love to see the wall getting thrown up here even before the hill fort. Is Kvoth going to pull back? Under so much pressure here in this game. And he's still, like, how does his upgrades go? He still hasn't got the upgrades. In Bronze Mail coming through for Kvoth at the moment. He's still sitting at full population, but he's a little bit behind. No fortified towns, and so Matreiuss has got the advantage where that's concerned. And now the Huskal are out. It's so hard to beat this army. It is so hard to beat this army. Huskal throwing action. You might be like, Hapaspis, just build a Hapaspis. It's not that simple. Once these throwing action have got Huntress Axe, and they're doing 7.65 damage times, what is it, 125%? So like 15, 18 damage a second or something. The Huskal just die before they get their own crazy amounts of damage done onto the Throwing Axemen. Plus, compare the Throwing Axemen to the Toxotes at this point. They're actually doing more damage here, or maybe not doing more damage, but doing around the same damage to the Toxotes that each of these are trading basically equally, which is great for Matreiuss. It's now the Ballast are out, taking down the fortress over here. Raiding cavalry coming through, sniping down villages there as well as the Polyphemus has to send all these units over here to deal with this. Well, not all of them, but he's sending them over here to deal with this side build. And he has to set up a trade route at some point, which does allow the Ballista to come in here and get set up with this position. But some militia pop out of the fortress. Fortress are great from a Poseidon perspective as the raiding cavalry come through, pushing off that gold mine yet again. As it looks like Kvoth here is out of gold. As the raiders come through, pushing this position as well. How are the upgrades going? Nearly fully upgraded. Needs just a little bit more for fully iron upgrades. Divine Blood also coming through for Kvoth as well. As the Longhouse going to get cleaned up there. The militia are going to clean up some of these champion raiders to boot. Villagers coming up onto this gold mine, doing what they can. There's the heavier Hapaspis trying to get just a little bit of damage done, but still even now, look at this. Look at this crazy amount of damage these Throwing Axemen do. Bam, dead hoplite. Bam, and now the Throwing Axemen can deal with those heavy, medium Toxotes. Burning Pitch Engineers also coming through here to help out those Ballista. Burning Pitch doesn't give any bonus damage for the Ballista against buildings, but it does give a little bit of extra crush damage. So it's well worth getting. I think it's like 3 crush damage per second of an upgrade in terms of its actual value against a building. So it's well worth getting. There's more towers coming up on this position. Matreiuss has got a lot of villages here. He's going to have to start considering trimming those villages at some point as the Polyphemus coming through. And this is where things get tough. It's like Polyphemus or with Polyphemus in conjunction with the Colossus to deal with this. As the Ballista get pulled back there smartly by Matreiuss, wanting to keep those alive. Raiding cavalry coming in. He did go through tiers, so he doesn't get that Sons of Sleipnir technology that comes from Balder to take out those Toxotes easier. But even so, they're still such a tank at this moment. As the Polyphemus here get sniped down by those Ballista. Look at how much damage they do. These units, the same with Heliopolis. Like Ballista, Heliopolis are so strong. You guys go, like, I hear so many people complaining about catapults. And don't get me wrong, catapults are great at killing off buildings. But the Ballista and the Heliopoli, they are so good at killing off units that it's just like, it makes up for how bad they are at killing buildings. There's more towers coming up here, and Matreiuss here, he is playing this slow push so well here, as we see Rhyme in now for Matreiuss after the 26th minute of this game. And now the Ballaster, I mean, you probably just want to honestly target the Ballaster onto these hoplites and onto these units and take these out rather than killing off the town center here to start off with, as the Dwarves moving forward. Obviously, Matreiuss doesn't need these anymore, and he does convert a whole bunch of them into Ulfsark to give himself just a mini Ragnarok here, a villager Ragnarok. But he can also move in and start mining this gold mine up as well. Iron Mail just about in winter harvest coming through for Matreiuss as well, as his economy is just absolutely out of this world insane. A couple of Ballasters do end up getting taken down, but the town center is about to fall here for Kvoth. Kvoth is just so far behind after all of the hard work is done. He just has not been able to make this 2-town center Poseidon work against Matreiuss's Odin here, as the Ulfsark swing through 5.28 speed. They've got Berserker Gang as well, which makes them have even more HP. 132 HP for this crazy high damage Ulfsark is insane. As the town center coming up here for Matreiuss. And the Raider's going to swing through and try and take out those villages as well. This tower's coming up onto this position. We do see the Thrym Frost Giants trying to take out these units there. The Folds are going to go down as well. And what else can Kvoth do in this position? He's not been able to put any pressure onto this town center. And this is the big thing here. Generally speaking, these kind of games go south for the Norse player by some sort of a counter attack. Some sort of like attacking the enemy town center, killing that one off and just never letting it go back up. But in this game, with this sort of a map here, it's just not been possible for Kvoth to get out of here in the slightest. Iron Mail finally coming through for Kvoth, but too little, too late. And in that moment, Kvoth does tap out, and Matreiuss finds the dub, ladies and gentlemen. What an insane game here. This had everything. Like, great defense from Kvoth, great macro from Matreiuss getting to that Mythic Age, an amazing play, getting that ceasefire off, blocking the Fimbulwinter Frost there from Matreiuss as well. Great play from Kvoth, but it just was not enough here. Matreiuss just too strong, got the economy going, took it slow, killed everything off, and he found the victory here with Norse. As well, that's the way the cookie crumbles here. Finding a win, getting on the board. If you guys enjoyed this one, please consider the follow on the Twitch. If on the YouTubes, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next game.